types of tea fields. It's the same fields that you see over here.
Okay.
For both fields, it's exactly the same plant. You may have different what is called cultivars.
Okay.
It's exactly the same type of, you could say, tea plant. Depending, you could say, on how you raise these plants, you will get different types of tea.
D'accord. Okay.
For example, this field over here is called a shaded field. What you do is you protect the leaves from the sun. By doing that, what you are doing is, in a way, impeding, you said, photosynthesis. Usually, if you keep the regular type of field, naturally, the leaves will become slightly bitter with the time, the longer you wait. And the flavor will be lighter, actually.
Okay.
So usually, bigger leaves tend to have more bitterness, but a lighter flavor.
Okay.
For this field, in a way, they look very similar for at least, but for 20 days, you protect these leaves, at least 20 days. And if you do that, you can get these two types of, you could say, teas. Now, where is the difference between, you could say, in a way, between these leaves and the process and everything? In the case of first, matcha, you only use what is called the buds and the younger leaves of the tea plant. These parts you harvest, you steam the leaves just like that, and by doing that you pretty much avoid oxidization. So that's, you said, main difference with other types of like black tea or Chinese style teas. After that, what you do is you dry the leaves just like that, the whole leaves.
Okay.
You remove the stems and the veins of the leaves, and what you have left is what is called, you could say, like the main source of the matcha.
Okay.
In Japanese, they call it tencha. You can even find in some stores tencha for people who only want to use it to grind their own matcha.
Okay.
So if you look for that, that is also possible. So you could say that if you grind that, the tencha, it becomes matcha.
Okay.
Now, the same leaves, again, the buds and the younger leaves, will become Gyokuro. But the process is different. You steam the leaves just like with the leaves of matcha, but after that, you roll the leaves. So that's why you have that kind of needle shape. And that's where you can see the process start getting different.
Okay.
After you could say you roll the leaves, you pretty much will have the final product. So with Japanese tea, what you do, and for example, it's different with other types of tea, is when you infuse the leaves, what you are doing is pretty much with each infusion, you're starting to open the leaves like that, and that's when they release the flavor.
Okay.
So although in a way they use the same leaves, the process is slightly different. Also, with the matcha, as you're literally consuming the whole leaves, the flavor will be slightly different. For example, it's quite intense depending on the quality. And in the case of Gyokuro, you won't feel any type of bitterness, but it will be very rich in that umami flavor, kind of grassy, seaweedy type of taste. You see that will be the main characteristic of this.
Okay.
Now, if we go into the, let's say, the regular field, where the difference lies between these two is, just like with matcha and Gyokuro, for the Sencha, you will again use only the younger leaves and the buds. Exactly. The process is exactly the same as Gyokuro. You steam the leaves, you roll them, and pretty much that's it. And for Bancha, you use the bigger leaves.
Okay.
Because of that, Bancha is first a lot cheaper, because we have large amounts of those leaves. But at the same time, you can actually divide in a few different types the Bancha. You can drink the leaves just like that.
Okay.
And that's what mainly Japanese people consider like a regular type of green tea. And if you roast those leaves, you will get hojicha.
Okay.
If you add some rice to it, you will get ginmaicha.
Okay.
So some people, for example, know if they want Bancha, we need to ask what type of Bancha exactly.
Yeah.
Because, for example, in this region, if a customer let us know, I want Bancha, they are mainly thinking in brown tea, like hojicha, for example. But in Kanto, like closer to Tokyo, they will think in a green tea. So you need to be a little bit careful.
Alright.
So although everything is exactly the same price, the same type of tea, it depends on the process and on the field, you could say, how you get the different types of, teas.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem.